Welcome to the deep dive. I'm just so excited you're joining us today because we are getting into a topic that literally opens doors.
It really does.
You sent us this massive stack of materials to look through, and I've got to say, it is a fascinating mix. We're looking at the 2026 Safe and Sound Security Pricing Guide.
Right, which had some great data.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, we've got in-depth equipment reviews comparing major platforms like Avigilon and Brevo, detailed biometric integration guides, and even some highly specific local Los Angeles security deployment data.
It's a fantastic stack of sources.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. For decades, physical key cards and access badges have been the absolute standard for building entry. We all know the drill.
Right.
But today, businesses are rapidly replacing those physical plastic cards with mobile credentials. They're allowing employees to unlock doors using their smartphones. We are going to explore if mobile access is truly the future of workplace security.
It's a great mission, and I'm glad you brought this stack of information to us, because what's fascinating here is that this is not just a simple tech upgrade.
How so?
Well, we aren't just swapping one piece of plastic for a digital version on a screen. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this is a fundamental shift in how we define identity, security, and convenience in the modern workplace.
Yeah.
It changes the entire relationship between an employee and the building they work in.
I absolutely love that perspective. And before we jump into the mechanics of how all this works, we need to thank our sponsor, West Point Locksmith.
Oh, yes.
They are fast, reliable, and professional locksmiths serving all of Los Angeles. From emergency lockouts to rekeying, smart locks, and car key replacements, they're available 200/7 to keep your home, business, and vehicle secure.
And they really know this transition from analog to digital.
They really do. Give them a call at 310-295-4040. We'll hear more about their incredible 5-star reviews a bit later, because the real-world installations, they do tie directly into everything we're talking about today.
They absolutely do. Real-world implementation is where these concepts actually get tested and proven.
So let's talk about the tech itself, because we've all experienced this shift from plastic to pixels in our everyday lives. I mean, I remember having to wear my plastic badge on one of those retractable hip clips at my old job.
Worse.
Constantly getting caught on door handles, or I'd be standing in the pouring rain digging through my bag for the card.
Right, it's just friction.
Compare that to what the deployment data is showing now. Phones are using the exact same NFC chips we use to tap and pay for groceries to unlock doors. They're using Bluetooth and even QR code authentication. Your phone is the key.
Exactly.
But I have to ask, is it actually reliable? Because my Bluetooth headphones disconnect, like, all the time.
That is the exact friction point that early mobile access systems faced.
Yeah.
And it's really why the adoption took a minute to catch on.
Right.
But the innovations we're seeing in these equipment reviews show how the industry solved it. Take Avigilon Alta, for example. They developed a patented technology called triple unlock.
Triple unlock.
Yeah. When you approach a door with your phone, the system doesn't just rely on Bluetooth and hope for the best. It simultaneously erases a Bluetooth signal, a local Wi-Fi signal, and a cellular signal to the reader.
Wait, it races them.
It erases them. Whichever signal wins the race and authenticates first unlocks the door. It entirely bypasses the usual lag or connection drops you might experience with normal consumer electronics.
Okay, racing the signals is a brilliant workaround, and it seems like the user experience is really the defining factor for whether a company actually embraces this.
Absolutely.
I was looking through the Brevo and Avigilon reviews, and the contrast in how an employee actually gets through the door is kind of hilarious when you think about it practically.
You're talking about the wave to unlock feature versus the voice commands.
Yes. With Avigilon, you just leave your phone in your pocket or your backpack, walk up to the reader, and wave your hand in front of it.
It's seamless.
The reader detects your phone's Bluetooth proximity and the motion of your hand and lets you in. Total frictionless magic. But then you look at some of Brevo's older integrations where they leaned really heavily into Siri for touchless access.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting phase.
Just imagine being in a super quiet, tense medical office. Or conversely, out on a loud, busy street in downtown LA, and you have to awkwardly shout, "Hey Siri, open this door," just to get to work.
Right. It's a perfect example of why user experience matters in security. If a security measure is awkward, disruptive, or socially uncomfortable, people will actively find ways to circumvent it.
They'll just prop the door open with a rock.
Exactly. And this raises an important point about where these workplace expectations are even coming from. The commercial security world is actually playing catch-up to the consumer tech world.
Because of smart homes, right?
Precisely. The reviews point out direct parallels in the smart home market. You have products like the Schlage Encode Plus, which integrates seamlessly with Apple HomeKit. You just tap your Apple Watch to your front door, and you're inside. Or the Yale Assure Lock 2, which auto-unlocks as you approach with your phone in your pocket.
So easy.
Right. Consumers are experiencing this completely effortless, reliable security at home, and then they're arriving at their multi-million-dollar corporate office wondering why they still need to wear a piece of plastic on a lanyard.
Yeah.
Consumer expectations are absolutely driving commercial workplace demands.
It's the classic, if my house can do it, why can't my office do it?
Yeah.
Realization.
Exactly.
But here's where I want to push back a little bit. It's funny we're talking about convenience, because usually when you make something easier for the user, you make it weaker for security.
That's the traditional trade-off, yes.
Right. So if my phone is my key, what happens when I inevitably leave my phone at a coffee shop? Doesn't the person who finds it suddenly have unrestricted access to my office building? Isn't putting everything on a phone less secure than a dedicated badge?
It's the most common concern, absolutely. But looking at the safe and sound data, that paradigm is completely flipped here. A plastic key card is incredibly vulnerable.
Because anyone can use it.
Right. It's essentially a dumb piece of plastic with an unencrypted serial number inside. If you drop it, anyone who picks it up can use it immediately. But mobile credentials provide vastly stronger protection because they piggyback on the security architecture of the smartphone itself.
Because of the biometrics?
Correct. To even open the digital key app on a modern smartphone, the user generally has to authenticate using the device's built-in biometric security.
So Face ID, Touch ID.
Exactly, or a complex passcode. The person who finds your phone at the coffee shop cannot open the door without your face or your fingerprint. You are leveraging biometric security without the company having to install a specialized retina scanner on the wall.
Wow, I hadn't considered that. We're essentially crowdsourcing the biometric hardware by using the devices employees already own.
And the cost implications of that are massive. But we'll get to the financial side in a minute. Let's stay on the security architecture. You included specific deployment data on Los Angeles high-rise security.
Yeah, that data was intense.
It really paints a stark picture of the threats out there. High-profile buildings in major metropolitan areas face unique, severe risks. We're talking about unauthorized tailgating.
Where a bad actor just slips in behind an employee who swiped their card.
Right, all the way to severe instances of workplace violence or corporate espionage.
And a standard key card doesn't really do anything to stop a cloned badge, right? I've seen videos where people buy a little $20 device online, brush past someone on the subway, and instantly copy their building badge.
That is called an RFID skimming attack, and it is startlingly easy with older proximity cards. Mobile access counters these threats because it doesn't just broadcast a static serial number.
What does it do instead?
It uses highly encrypted communication and multi-factor authentication. The digital keys are tied to the smartphone's secure enclave. It's a dedicated, isolated chip inside the phone. It cannot be easily duplicated or skimmed by someone bumping into you on the street. It creates a highly fortified, dynamic barrier against unauthorized entry.
Okay, but what if the cloud goes down? Or what if AWS has an outage? If the whole system is managed remotely over the internet, am I just locked out of my office building because a server in Virginia crashed?
That's another great question, and it's where edge computing comes in.
Edge computing.
Yeah. Modern systems don't rely on a live internet connection for every single door unlock. The smart readers at the door cache the credential database locally.
Oh, that's smart.
So even if the building loses internet or the cloud provider has an outage, your Bluetooth credential still talks locally to the door reader, verifies the encrypted token, and lets you in. The cloud is used for management and updates, but the actual unlocking decision happens locally at the edge.
That makes a lot of sense. And speaking of the management side, it's not just about the moment someone walks through the door, right? It's about what happens when things go wrong. The remote management capabilities mentioned in the deployment data are wild. If a security threat occurs, an administrator doesn't have to be sitting at a dedicated computer terminal in the basement of the building.
No, they can be anywhere.
They can instantly lock down the entire premises, revoke access for a specific user, or pull up a live video feed of the door right from their own smartphone, whether they are on-site or halfway across the country.
When we talk about this instant lockdown capability, that speed of response is critical. You cannot waste minutes trying to physically locate a security guard when a threat is unfolding.
And that actually brings to mind West Point Locksmith, who sponsored this deep dive. They deal with exactly these kinds of high-stakes, real-world LA deployments every day.
They're on the front lines of this stuff.
They really are. I was looking at their testimonials, and there's a 5-star review from a woman named Sarah J., an operations director in downtown LA. She hired West Point to install an HID global mobile access system across 3 different floors of her office. She specifically noted that having this system flawlessly installed allowed her to instantly manage access permissions for her rapidly growing team right from her phone.
That's the remote management in action.
Exactly. No more tracking down keys or worrying about who has access to what, just instant secure control. If you need that level of expert installation or just need a fast 24/7 rescue for a lockout, call them at 310-295-4640.
Sarah's experience is a perfect transition into the day-to-day administrative reality of these systems.
Huh.
We've talked about the high-level security threats, but the daily, mundane administrative burden is often where these systems truly prove their worth to a business.
Let's talk about the everyday employee experience and the dreaded lost badge epidemic.
Oh, we all know it well.
We all know someone, maybe it's us, who constantly forgets their badge on the kitchen counter or leaves it in their gym bag. And then they have to do the walk of shame to the security desk. You have to sign a paper log, get a temporary pass, and promise to bring yours back tomorrow.
It's a hassle.
But almost nobody forgets their phone. If you get halfway to work and realize you left your phone at home, you turn around and go get it. Replacing the badge with the phone just solves a massive daily friction point for the user.
And that friction extends to the HR and IT departments, which is often invisible to the average employee, but incredibly costly to the business.
Right.
Let's look at the onboarding and offboarding process. Modern cloud platforms feature open API standards. Because of these open APIs, the door access system essentially talks directly to a company's HR software.
Like platforms like Okta, Azure, or G Suite.
Exactly.
So how does that actually work in practice? Are we saying there's no more emailing the security guy to print a badge for the new hire?
That entire manual workflow vanishes. When a new employee is added to the HR database by the hiring manager, the API triggers the access control system. Their mobile credential is automatically generated, customized with the correct permissions for their role, and emailed to them before their first day.
That's so efficient.
They download the app, and they are ready to go.
Yeah.
But even more critically, let's talk about offboarding.
Firing someone.
Yes, or even just an amicable departure. When someone leaves the company, their status has changed in the HR system, and their access to the building is revoked globally with a single click.
Just instantly gone.
Their digital key is instantly disabled. You aren't relying on a manager remembering to physically take back a plastic badge during an exit interview.
Right.
A disgruntled former employee walking out the door with a valid physical key card is a massive, highly common security vulnerability. Mobile credentials eliminate it entirely.
That is such a stress reliever for a company's operations team, which naturally leads us to the final piece of the puzzle, the bottom line.
Always comes down to the budget.
Always. Let's talk cost efficiency and ROI. Because ultimately, someone has to write the check for this tech, and upgrading an entire building isn't cheap.
No, it's an investment.
Diving back into that 2026 Safe and Sound Security Pricing Guide, there are some real numbers we can crunch. Let's compare the traditional options first. You've got basic keypad systems, which run about $500 to $2,500 per door.
Right.
They're cheap up front, but as the guide notes, shared PIN codes are a massive vulnerability. Everyone just tells the delivery guy the code, and suddenly the whole neighborhood knows it.
Exactly.
Then you have standard card or fob systems running $1,500 to $3,500 per door.
True, but when analyzing those numbers, we have to uncover a crucial hidden cost that most financial officers completely miss when budgeting.
What's that?
Physical keycards and fobs themselves cost about $5 to $10 each to purchase.
Okay.
That doesn't sound like much initially. However, the data shows that organizations spend $30 to $100 every single month just replacing lost, stolen, or damaged cards.
Over $100 a month just on lost plastic.
Easily. And that's just the hard cost of the plastic.
Right.
When you factor in the labor rate of the IT or security person who has to manually program the new card, deactivate the old one, and hand it to the employee, the real cost skyrockets.
That adds up fast.
Over a 5 to 7 year life cycle of a security system, that is thousands and thousands of dollars, literally lost in the couch cushions, or dropped to the parking lot.
Okay, so how does this smartphone option compare financially? Because I know a lot of business owners have massive subscription fatigue. Everything is a SaaS product now with a monthly fee.
It's a very fair point. When you look at the 2026 pricing landscape,
Hmm.
cloud subscriptions for smartphone access control hover around $7.50 to $13.50 per door per month.
Right.
And you're right, some decision makers see a recurring monthly software fee and immediately hesitate. But this is where we have to look at the total cost of ownership, or TCO.
Break that down for me. If I'm paying a monthly fee forever, doesn't it inevitably cost more over a 10-year span than just buying a server once?
Not when you factor in the operational savings. With an on-premise legacy system, you have to buy a dedicated server, which costs thousands of dollars. You have to pay an IT professional to maintain that server, patch it for security vulnerabilities, and back it up.
Right, labor costs.
By moving to the cloud and eliminating the cost of purchasing physical credentials, removing the need for an on-site server, and allowing remote administration, organizations actually reduce their administrative overhead by 30% to 40%.
Wow.
The cloud system handles the cybersecurity updates automatically. The employee's own phone accesses the credential, and the IT team gets hours of their week back to focus on actual business problems.
Okay, the operational savings make total sense. But what if a company wants the absolute highest level of security, but they can't afford to put a $10,000 biometric iris scanner on every single office door? Are they just priced out of top-tier security?
Not at all. The pricing guide provides a highly practical solution for this, which they call the hybrid strategy.
Hybrid strategy.
Yes. This is a brilliant approach for cost optimization. Let's imagine a mid-sized business here in Los Angeles. They might have a main lobby, several general office doors, a break room, and then a highly sensitive server room and an executive suite.
Right, a pretty standard office layout.
The recommendation is to deploy standard mobile credentials for 95% of those doors, the lobby, the break room, the general workspaces. This keeps the per-door average cost incredibly low and maximizes convenience for the entire staff.
Makes sense.
Then you reserve the highly expensive, dedicated hardware biometrics, like a retina scanner or an advanced multi-factor keypad, only for the 2 or 3 highest risk access points in the building, like that server room.
Right.
It balances the budget perfectly while maintaining absolute military-grade security where it matters most.
I love that. You don't need Fort Knox security for the room where people keep their lunch, but you absolutely need it for the room housing client data. It's a really smart allocation of resources. So let's pull all of this together. We've gone from the frustration of lost plastic cards to the incredible tech racing signals to your door. We've tackled the security realities of leveraging smartphone biometrics to combat things like tailgating, and we've broken down the massive operational cost savings hidden in the cloud.
It's a massive shift.
It really is. As workplaces become more digital, mobile credentials may soon entirely replace traditional keycards as the most convenient and secure access solution available.
It's one of those rare technological shifts where the more secure option is actually the more convenient option for the end user. Usually those two concepts are at war with each other, but mobile access harmonizes them.
And if you are listening to this and realizing your office is stuck in the dark ages of easily cloned plastic cards, or if you just need a fast, reliable rescue for a home or car lockout, call the pros with the 5-star reviews at 310-295-4040. West Point Locksmith has LA covered.
They really do.
Whether it's upgrading your business to mobile access, fixing a broken ignition, or installing smart locks at your house, they are the certified experts you want on your side.
Before we wrap up, there's a concept pulled from the future trends section of your materials that we didn't get to deeply discuss, but it's too fascinating not to leave you with.
Oh, lay it on us.
We've spent this whole time talking about smartphones replacing plastic cards. But looking ahead, technologies known as behavioral biometrics are emerging.
Oh, this is the sci-fi stuff.
It really is. Behavioral biometrics don't just look at a static fingerprint. They analyze your continuous, unique physical patterns.
Like what?
Your typing rhythm, your specific gait, the exact cadence of how you walk down a hallway.
Wow.
It raises an incredible question for you to ponder. What happens when the building's access control system gets so smart and the cameras and sensors so advanced that you don't even need to pull out your phone?
Because the building just knows.
Exactly, because your mere physical presence and movement become the credential.
The building just knows it's you because of the way you walk. That is wild to think about and maybe a little intimidating.
Just a bit.
Thank you so much for sending in this stack of information. This was an incredibly eye-opening deep dive. We love doing this research for you, so please keep being insanely curious, keep sending in your topics, and keep exploring. We'll catch you on the next one.